There you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, how much do you know about Reengrim? Or you're in hers. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Aora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Aldra's titties, the Circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant. Maybe, maybe not. But Nakukubel is very old and very large. But I've no idea why an illusionist would care for godless artifacts. Yours truly excluded, of course. There must be something in there of interest to Reengrim. Probably something powerful. I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel Garrote bastards stole all my research about the Godless. They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Reengrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
Naturally. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Really, though, that would be dangerous. We'll catch up later, Yatsli. Take care of the envoy for me.
Perfect. Oh, this is going to be fun.
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. I thought I'd give it a try, see how it feels. Yatsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely. And spiders. No, why would I be? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. Right. Just keep it in mind, I guess. Anyway. Ask away. Right. Not before I've done some reading.
How are you holding up? Should I break out the booze? You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada. And Giada's a good influence on her. I'm pretty sure Yatsley flirts with everybody. I don't read anything into it. Don't get me wrong, she's a striking woman, but she and Quilici have a good thing. I'd never get in the middle of something like that. Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant. But I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't. She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. She's young. She'll get there. Until then, there are certainly worse things to be driven by. Sure. Get some rest, envoy.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. When the mood is right, I find I like everything. I'm going to write Quilici tonight. Make sure he misses me. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. I mean, my arm wasn't the only casualty. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Just the usual things. Not studying for an exam, having all your teeth fall out. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
Goodness, we're feeling very honest today, aren't we?
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go? Oh, Envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? Well, it's the waiting that makes the payoff so delicious, don't you agree? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise. Envoy, you'll find that I'm unreasonable from time to time, so hush. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't. I know, and she knows. Let's leave it at that. Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel, and a girl's gotta eat sometime. Yes, why did I choose to settle down with a gorgeous scientist who loves me? What a mystery. I still go out often. I've cataloged many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course. But a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. As much as I'd love to, you don't travel with the kitchen. I can't promise anything. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Guilichi and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked.
Are you joking? He's my mentor. Not to mention 1,000 years old.
Oh, no. They're both handsome humans, of course. But Giada is like family to both Quilici and me. He taught her a lot of what he knows. She spent days in our home. Literal 26-hour days. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. At least Quilici is with them, so I know someone competent is there. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire, just flames crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth, and that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. Oh, everything from dry historical recountings to treatises on agricultural techniques. No romances, though. Whoever filled the library must have been allergic to them. No, never actively. I had read them all previously, if that makes any sense. That's actually how I learned the Akhedan language. Just woke up with that knowledge. Which is very useful when you can find no written records. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. When you put it like that, it almost sounds boring. Maybe you just need to experience it yourself. But a low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. How sibilant. No. Just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use.
I need to go hunting. I hope you like roasted snake. What do you need? Ask away. They say this used to all be underwater until something happened that cracked open the ground and swallowed the seas. Makes sense to me. If you dig far enough, you'll find strange things like old fish bones that don't make sense in a place like this. I think that's why Thirdborn appeals to the Rowatayans so much. Like there's an ancestral connection with what the land used to be. Or maybe they just like fishing off the coast. What do I know? Let's see. I collected a good amount of water before we left Emerald Stair. Sometimes that's the only way to have water here. We have enough to travel for a while, but if we get stuck out here, we are in big trouble. I also put jerky in my pack. Drinking water isn't enough. You'll need that salt too. That's something most people forget. Pestler root is good when you're thirsty. Doesn't have any water in it, but makes you feel less thirsty when you chew it. It's not perfect, but it can get you through that extra distance before you can find more water. What do you need? What else is there? No idea. What you see out there is what you get. Right, change. Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for WoW's wacky wagon of mysteries. I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't? Thanks for talking.
I wish we could have done more for them. Capo and Chico, I mean. But if I were in his shoes, I hope I'd make the same choice. Though I'd like to pick a more fun way to die. Exactly my point. I can only hope that at the end I have some control over things. That I can go out as Yatsley. And don't you forget it. But it gives you something to think about. I mean, not everyone gets to come back like you did, Envoy. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akita, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the Living Lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Well, that would align with my own findings. But how could you know that? Oh, well, we should definitely trust that. But dubious metaphysics notwithstanding, you corroborate my theory. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatal or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yezua. Yezua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. That one might stay in your dreams, darling. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. I have my reasons. And it is fascinating, isn't it? Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling? These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Adir have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that? Unfortunately, your clumsy countrymen ruined my entire stock of ointments when they were trying to burn my house down. And I'll remember that comment. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing. In life, you make your own entertainment. I enjoy scandalizing the small-minded when I can. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie. Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months, and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord. Oh, obviously. The static from all the animancy can ruin my best hair day. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie, we should really get going. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out. We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. But Kai's hiding a lot behind that humor of his, isn't he? Thinking that that could be Quilici and me is not something I want to think about. And Marius, I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. You've got the thorn of a secret god inside of you. I think your uniqueness goes without saying, my dear envoy. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? I understand. It's hard to be away from one you love, even for the best reasons. Can I ask about them, your sweetheart? Putting that experience taming wild stallions to good use, is she? A woman after my own heart. And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Why do you think Quilici and I went to Nakutedek in the first place? Of course, other lovers were less willing. Something about them being gross and terrifying. I just think it adds to the excitement. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. I'll leave you alone to do whatever envoys do. Do you think those Adirans were onto something? Or were they onto something before you ended their studies? Do you think they could have cured the Dream Scourge? You may be right. Of course, now we'll never know. I just hope we made the right decision. A wrong choice here means that people die, Envoy. Perspective won't matter much to the dead. Had you left them to their own devices, who knows what we would have gained? A cure might sound far-fetched, but what if they found treatments for the Dream Scourge? And even other ailments? But our loss, I suppose. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Tired already, Envoy? Well, I'll see. See you in the morning.
More, please. I just want to sleep. You see that too, right? The ice. You see it? Our death's reaching for us. Through the ice and time. I know because she told me. The Archmage whispered something to me, but I don't remember what. And I'm not sure I want to either. She's broken all of us. Even the Zoribs. Poor bastards. A Deering, wasn't I? But I've been so busy with the Zoribs. They're smarter than we think. There was one with the most beautiful spear. I wanted it. I told the Archmage. She said... No. I hear it. I've heard it whisper under the skin. Our deaths come courting. But I want the Zorib spear. And the ice has my death. I don't know what to do. Oh, I haven't slept in so long. Did you see its spear? Something beautiful in this cold dark. The ice takes everything in the end. Oh, I can hear it calling even now. Our death come. So we're waking in the ice.
better weapon. Everyone okay?
Ringram seems fun.
These are so lifelike. Poor bastard. This is it. Ringrim was definitely here.
So, why couldn't you just put that on a sign? These ice corpses are excessive.
Yes, but look at them. The artistry is sublime. Can you imagine having enough finesse to make all this?
I can't imagine wanting to. If you gotta deal with an archmage to stop the Dream Scourge, so be it. But be careful with this Ringram character. This place has given me a bad feeling I can't shake.
A spell. And a very clever one. Ringrim's using her illusions to make people choose to stay away. Everyone except us. Of course I probably can. All spells have a counter. You just have to know what it is. But we can figure that out later. Right now, we have to focus on what's at the end of that passage. Precisely. Chances are we'll die. But if we don't, we stop Ludwig and get into the ruins. So, win-win.
Yatsley, you must have been a Rowatayan admiral in a past life.
Let's get going. Oh, and stay close.
Think they're welcoming us?
That's done. Child play. I'm covered in fur and even I'm freezing. Are her illusions really so powerful? Stay close. Ringrim's trying to scare us off, but we won't let her, will we? Oh, what a frosty welcome.
I was prepared for heat, sandstorms, monsters. Not this.
It's just a trick, Envoy. A well-crafted cold trick. Keep moving. That's a singular spear. I bet that's the one we're looking for.
that lingers in the mind. You wish to find me in my tower? You'll have to wait until I tell this tale.
We gotta get into that tower? I hope Yatsley brought her ladder.
There's got to be a way. Let's snoop around.
Land shaped in the dreamer's image, not with stone or axe, but with essence. Songs of ancient magic. Could we sing to them?
What, like it's hard? That's done.
Once, a very important statue fell to pieces, and an entire village perished because it wouldn't put the statue back together again.
Oh good, skeletons. Just the thing to brighten up the place.
This one's mine.
Oh, onward, watch your left!
I will see you inside my tower.
I'm guessing she hasn't had company in a while. Take your best shot. Nothing like a win with a good team.
Sometimes cold reason is necessary.
The heart of stone. It's quite realistic, isn't it?
Then I'll let you hold it.
Archmagi truly are inscrutable creatures, aren't they?
Watch your left.
That's done. Walking like it's hard.
The village wanted so bad to do the right thing.
You're here for my Adra piece, aren't you? You can't have it.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too, dearie.
I'll die without the Adra. Please, don't take it from me. I don't want to die. I was dying before I found the Adra piece, but it's been keeping me alive. I can't go far from it. If I do, it begins to hurt again. I don't remember anymore. I was in pain for so terribly long. But the Adra has kept me alive. Don't let them take it away. The other villagers, they want me to give them the Adra piece. They say it'll save us. But if they take it, I'll die. And I don't want to die. Please.
Either they're not really here, or we're not.
I told the other villagers I need it. I understand everyone's in danger, but I don't want to die. Don't take the Adra piece from me. I'll do anything. Please. Is there no other way? Why does it have to be me who dies? Please. Please. No.
If the village had been as sensible as you, they would have lived.
That poor man. Was he a real person once? Did all that happen to him?
And why force us to make that choice? Why the cruelty?
Well, for better or worse, I can't wait to find out more.
Mangled statues and bitter fables. None of this comes from a healthy mind. Or soul.
I'm sure they go somewhere. Let's go see where. Child's play. Walk like it's hard.